Welcome back to the Time You're in Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the Magic Square MS-B33 Deadly, their take on a G1-esque Preceptor. This is a really nice looking bottle. We're going to talk about the good points and the bad points about this. I did get this at Shows. I'll have a link down below where you can get yours. Let's get into this coming up. Alright, so here's the packaging. It says Magic Square. Looks pretty good. No window box though. Doesn't really bother me, but I kind of got used to Magic Square doing a window box. Well, there's the packaging. Alright, so taking a good look at this guy right here. He does actually look really good. Magic Square does a really good job with the design, and I really like the design. But let's get into looking at him and his articulation here. Starting at the top, his head. The head actually does look pretty good. And it's just so tiny. That's a nice head sculpt. And you got paint all over it. The face is painted. This yellow is painted. The eyes are painted. And then you have some kind of articulation in his sort of cannon piece right there. And then this little dial moves. So that's kind of cool. There's just a lot to it for being so small. They put a lot into this thing. And then looking at the head back and forth and up. Not really anything down. So you can get the shoulder out to the 90 and then flip this all the way around 360. The bicep swivel is real tight. It's a real tight bicep swivel, which that's just extremely tight. You do have a double jointed elbow on it, and then getting down to the waist, but side to side, you have the typical Magic Square extreme waist articulation all the way out to the 90. It's kind of a universal type of a joint here, which is interesting how they do that. And then with the hip flaps, you can go all the way up and you can't go too far to the back. You don't really have a flat back there, which is not a big deal to me. And then you got the knee articulation and only to the 90 right there. And you do have articulation in the foot. It's more of a, yeah, the whole foot moves. The whole foot's moving. Looks like just the toe, but yeah, the whole foot does have some articulation to it. So you get quite a bit of articulation out of this guy, and you do quite a bit. But it's sort of limited in a way with kind of how far back it goes and a few things like that. So the only accessories that come with this guy is this gun, and really that's it. And really that's all you need. I mean, he's going to turn into a microscope and all of that, so that's all you really need with him. Now, looking at him all over, he does have a few areas of paint. Right here, painted really, really well. It looks nice and shiny. And then, of course, we saw the face was painted. And I think this is actually just another piece. Well, maybe not. Maybe it is painted. So, just looks really good overall. So much gone into this. And yeah, well, for a Magic Square, it's pretty much exactly what you expect, except I would actually have liked a shiny paint job. Kind of something that New Age would give us. Paint-wise would have made this thing really pop. So that's the downside so far of this figure. I would have liked to have had some more paint. But aside from that, it just looks great. So getting into a comparison, I'm going to compare him with Mr. Moon, which is a sort of a McFan's Toys figure. And so Mr. Moon is pretty cool. I like it. It did the job for a while. He is bigger. Mr. Moon's bigger than the Magic Square version, but the Magic Square version looks more accurate. I still think that Mr. Moon's not bad. It's not horrible, and if this is the only one we ever got, well, I would have been okay with it. But now that we're getting better and better and better, well, of course you want to get the best, right? But there they are side by side. And let's do a quick back comparison. And so he is clean. So the Magic Square one is very clean in the back, and that does look pretty good. There's a little bit of unsightliness going on right there, but still not too horrible. Pretty interesting though, how we see the progression of what's like 3 or 4 years ago to where we are now. And this is a fun comparison shot I wanted to put together. This is the Soundwave, sort of the body that Mr. Moon was based off. And looking at that, this is pretty much the same figure right here. And this is Magic Square's updated versions of both of those, so you can kind of get a good look and an idea of where we came from and where we're going. And here he is with, Magic Square Prime, Magic Square's Trailbreaker, and then these are the McFan's Toys versions. That's an original McFan's Toys and then a K oversized of DX9. So get an idea of how big he is. I feel like he's an okay size, but just seeing he's probably a little smaller than I'd like, but then that makes this guy a little bit too small also, so there we go. And last I want to do a quick comparison next to the Reaction Super 7, and this looks way better. This just looks way better, and it transforms, so kind of mind-blowing, versus this doesn't transform. They could have just made that look amazing, and they didn't. Alright, so let's get this guy transformed up, and first thing we want to do is just kind of take care of the hands, and it's the simple usual hand routine where you tuck it in to that flap there and do that on both sides. Okay, next we're going to lift up on these pieces right here without knocking his head out. And then all this is going to lift up. And then, so what's going to happen here, we need to make these pieces go kind of flat like that, and then this is going to fold down. Move this piece around. Now this is all going to fold up like so that we can fit the head through here. And so that's how that looks. Now you got to flip this top piece here around like that and get the mechanism ready to work. And it's kind of cool. This piece floats. You can almost put it on either side. It does kind of float around, but we're going to just get it in that position for now. And I always worry about it. Now it feels real delicate with it not connected to anything. So we're going to fold. This piece is going to fold in. Once we open this whole mechanism here, that wasn't supposed to fall off. Okay, now this is all going to fold in, and then this is where it gets kind of interesting. So this is going to fold up into place on both sides. There we go. And these are those shoulder joints that are just so tight. And then we're going to fold all of this forward. Let's make sure the head is positioned in there just right. And then this is going to have to tab in. Let's open these pieces up. I'm not sure the head's not going through all the way. There it is. There we go. And then tab this in right here. There's a slot and there's the tab, and let's get that tabbed in. Come on. Well, that tab's in there, and then we have a slot here and a tab there. Same thing on the other side. Okay, we're on the lower body. Let's go ahead and rotate the waist around here. And then you do have some tabs, which they're supposed to sort of lock the leg in place. It doesn't really do that great of a job. I mean, it does a little bit, but anyhow, okay, we're going to move this like so into that position, and we're going to open up the treads and pull the treads out. Okay, that was just ridiculously tight to get that out of there, and you just open that up, but it was really tight, and that does not feel good. Okay, we're going to move this around, and then if you want to secure it right away, we can just tab this. There's a slot and a tab. We'll tab this piece in to here. Okay, now we see a tread here, and we're going to fold back this heel spur into here, and then the toe forward, and then we're going to tab into the slots in the bottom of the heel. We're going to tab this tab into one of those slots. So that's all kind of going on at the same time, and there it is. So it holds all that in place, sort of. Doing the same thing on the other side, and this should be easier to open. We're going to fold it like this, fold this around, open this up. This one's giving me trouble too. This is tight, real tight. All right, there we go. Now it's opened. We're going to tab the back end to hold it in place like so, and then fold the heel back, toe forward, come on toe, tab it all together, kind of straighten it up, and here we go. Right, so here he is in his microscope mode, and for the transformation, I usually don't feel like I'm going to break Magic Square stuff, but I did feel a few points in here I was going to break. This piece here just popped out. That was strange. So overall, though, it's still a pretty cool looking figure, a pretty cool looking alt mode. I mean, I didn't get this for the microscope mode, so that's all I got to say. I did not say, oh, hey, I went on chill in the microscope mode, and then I'll have my one of my other figures in the bot mode or something. So I want this for the bot mode, and the alt mode's passable. I will say for the alt mode, it just, I have to keep cleaning it up. It feels like it's not held in place solid like it should be, like I would like it to be, but especially with the whole leg situation. But overall, it's not bad. Let's do a comparison to Mr. Moon. And not much else to really compare it to an alt mode, because really it doesn't make sense to compare it to a car or a truck or anything. So that's just kind of how big it is next to a couple of Magic Square offerings there. So there it is. So this is the Magic Square Deadly, their take on Preceptor, and it's a pretty good looking bot, pretty good looking take overall. I do like it, and it's the best one we've gotten, and I would actually like to see it upscaled into Masterpiece as a budget option in the Masterpiece line. It does have a lot of really cool features to it, considering the fact that this thing here is fully articulated, which I like that, and then the fact that it does look good and it does fit the aesthetic and it's very clean. Transformation's a little bit complex for what it is, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, put a link in the comments below so you can get yours. Predator Hanger out.